I mean, I was living like that guy over there, just like a loser, and I just suddenly I just had this huge record, and my life changed dramatically. Megastar, superstar, megastar, genius. I just think that it's a provocative way of describing yourself, and it upsets people, and I like to upset people because I'm Australian, mainstream.
They're very clever, and they managed to convince these people that nothing was going to happen here. It was all going to be, a lot of fun. Everything designed so that people would feel calm and go easily. I'm just wondering what anybody does to deserve this.
I wasn't the anxious, psychopath that sits in front of you now. Well, she felt for Sandy, a mainstream, and there is a Sandy's mainstream somewhere. I mean, Sandy is, I think Sandy mainstream is a complex fellow, but mainstream, he has his moments, and every human being wants to be beloved. I know that everybody's not going to love me. Robert McManus is not going to love me because mainstream, he tends to get right underneath and right into and right and deep into this culture. And
there was an air of obnoxiousness about you, both on stage and off stage. You actually put out this air of, I really want to upset you. Why was that? Was that a turn on for you, or was it a deliberate strategy?
Well, no, I think it was a deliberate strategy. It was just a provocative, challenging, pissing off the audience, unsettling the audience. That sort of style is something that really interested me. It's got global reach. It's sharp, it's clever, it's edgy, and it's out there, and it's very much zeitgeist, which is a German word. A German word. And because I knew that you knew that was a German word. I should be lying on the couch here, really. But I don't really know what the reasons are. But what I'm always looking for is hyper-reality, because it's all part of the, all that sublimated stuff that I need to get out. It's all that anger and angst and, all the scary shit in there. It's just...
And his crew are not fans of Sandy's
mainstream.
I think it's fair to say that you're not beloved within the industry. Is that...
Never been a problem. Mainstream.
Are you an extremist in all things?
I think so.
You're part of
I think so. Yeah. And people see me as aggressive. Maybe it is. But I think art imitates life, and that's what I like to do. I like to carry my art into my life, and a lot of people find that objectionable. But again, it does create a lot of situations that are memorable and beyond the reality, beyond just the simple realities. That's where I want to go. I want to go somewhere. And the reasons for that, Mr. Psychotherapist, is I don't really know. I don't actually know.
Okay, can you get me on the level?
That's good. That's fantastic. Yeah, just keep it on mic, like on the centre, and
just there.
Yeah, and not too close. Maybe just back it up a little bit, 10 minutes.
Okay, thanks for that, Mike.
On mic, please.
On mic 1.
You're just off mic there.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, you put me in the red zone. Okay.
Can a radio jock express his true feelings over the air? Okay.
Welcome to my show. Yes.
I could squeeze my milk all over you.
Yeah, oh, yes, that...
Yeah, yes.
And I can squeeze them. And if I do it just right, I can get it in a glass.
I'm feeling that.
May I have some paper towels, please?
That feeling. That beautiful plush. Feeling. That beautiful white feeling. Sure. Yeah, can somebody get me a specimen bottle? Yes, but white's all right, but Chrome gets me. Yes, that's right. Sometimes it's chrome that brings me that beautiful chrome feeling. That's right.
Spraying my
Chrome hubcaps with my own joyous seed.
It's a beautiful white feeling, and sometimes it's a little bit chrome.
Okay, welcome to yeah, my show. Yeah, it's that unfair. Yeah, and what? Yeah, and
my mind had
been manipulated.
Somebody was out there doing it to me.
It'd be nice if you could put your cock in between here, and that would just feel great.
I'm on like a dream, patience and cream, live like strawberry.
Can we roll from the top? Yeah, thank you. Every morning I wake up about, 3:15, mosey down, hose myself down first. I believe a good thorough hosing is a good thing in the morning. Yuri. I don't think there's any need for description, do you? Yeah, that's right. And in the morning when I usually, get in, Sammy's been in here. It's Sammy Boobies, our weather girl. Been in here for an hour before I've been.
That's right.
When I come in the morning, I spend about half an hour in makeup.
Maybe have a foot spa.
Have the shoulders of my new Armani suit.
All the dead skin.
Brushed off the ample shoulder padded
Shoulders.
Brushed off the shoulders.
Brushed the loose skin.
Cascades from my rotting scalp.
Does that bother you?
Cascading
Down in cloudlets.
from my
Decaying, rotting scalp.
that sunbeam foot spa. Here, yes, that's right. Max P. Stockbroker of life.
Highest paid in the world. Your name is Price. Award-winning, worldwide, mainstream mic.
Well, he's one of the many stills that support the platinum tonsil.
Max P.
Max profit.
The maximum
Profit.
Thank you very much for that. And please, while you're on the line, what I absolutely insist on is a
Fresh fecal mud pack.
thank you, Sammy. She doesn't have to come in early and do that. She doesn't have to work.
Overtime. She doesn't have to work overtime. She's a good...
Decent Aussie girl. She doesn't have to give me the pack, and she does it.
Because she wants to.
That's right. Well, it isn't actually a mud pack.
Fecal face pack in the morning.
It opens my pores.
Beautiful enzymes.
Fresh, first one of the day. Most importantly, it's the only thing that keeps
The liver spots at bay.
every morning fresh. That's right. She doesn't have to do that. She doesn't have to do that. She doesn't have to do it. And this is the point I'm making. I don't know. It's good to have her around, I think. Actually, she's been here since work experience. That's right. She stayed on. Yeah, well, God knows why, but she...
I don't know.
I'm really touched by that. I get in, after doing my morning ablutions, I always go and make her a coffee and give her a smile. And she's a good Aussie girl.
Great Australian.
Good Australian. She is. And
North Shore schoolgirl in a Mrs. Nebel kitchen.
sometimes I feel like I'm naked behind the mic. Sometimes I feel myself naked behind the mic. Pretty well known that I came out of the soundproof booth years ago. Sometimes there's nothing more satisfying than getting a glimpse of the man behind the man behind the man behind the man. Well, there you go. There you see me, revealed, stripped bare,
naked. Naked on the airwaves.
revealed. That's right, that's what I am. That's right, here I am, in front of you, revealed. The AM, FM chameleon. Don't say that. Don't use that, huh? Some of my best friends are German Shepherds.
But I don't think species is really what's crucially important.
That although the experience might be pleasurable,
whatever.
But it made me feel free.
I wouldn't say that you ought to prohibit this
Necessarily?
That's right. She came with me.
Well, she soon learned to.
Simply for safety reasons.
We put a normal cat in there and got a brain-damaged cat back.
She came to Sydney with me.
Because it's not right. It's not right for the animal. They won't let me see my dog now.
Holly the collie.
Well, I can't see her anymore.
But it's true that the views that I put out there are ones that don't get as readily taken up.
We'd like to talk to you about why you're mistreating animals.
As long as there's, feelings on both sides, I think that
they don't have to feel as guilty and tortured about what they were doing.
But I used to be embarrassed. Now I think it's kind of sexual.
Yes. Everyone.
Exactly.
And I think the acceptance of it really helped me, and after that it kind of just went away. It was bizarre.
That's the thing. And you're supposed to be nervous.
But, here's a topic that nobody really
Talks about openly.
Sexual contact between humans and animals.
Yeah, well, could they have even done it? I mean, is that possible?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, because of course there's a lot of sexual contact between humans and animals, but I imagine situations, and there are situations, where it's clear that the animal is absolutely free to choose to leave or not, or not.
I'm going to hold the dog while I'm at least treating pain. You can see that Holly is in pain. She has a busted hip.
Stop treating animals like that.
I think beautiful relationships can blossom out of these.
Gag me.
Not allow me to...
Are the laws that govern those sorts of human
morals?
Are they...
Battled with dog breeders over his controversial support for crossbreeding designer dogs.
That's the free market. You're not allowed to do that in Australia. We don't allow people to have a market in eggs or sperm.
Okay. Eggs and sperm. You are an idiot. Yes, and I don't think that it's sort of any secret to any of my listeners that from a very early age I was blessed with a overabundant sperm count. Put that aside, none of them are mine. Sorry, I think we've lost a caller. Sure. Do you have a? Don't forget we have a. And so, our own. What do you think? Very. Do you have a toilet tap ratio here on? And so, what do you think?
If I take a pipe from your house, from your sewage, and run it through a machine and put it into my house for drinking water, I don't think too many people would like to drink my water.
Sure.
Oh, fucking mafia. Wankers. Who are they anyway? Bloody fruit shop owners. They should stick to selling their bloody fruit and vegetable and just fucking leave me alone.
Identify his weaknesses and attack.
Put the needle on and she did the injection with me sitting right there next to her.
So today, the equation is the same. Technology plus toughness equals survival.
We now have some of the world's best technology and equipment, and I think that gives you some idea of the quality in the future.
You know, I'd be taking this seriously if I was you.
claims this latest spray...
Our toilet water. That's right, I shower in it, I wallow in it, I celebrate life in it. And you should too. What would you do? What would you do?
If I take a pipe from your house, from your sewage, and run it through a machine and put it into my house for drinking water, I don't think too many people would like to drink my water.
With or without a machine? With or without ice? What would you do? Would you drink your neighbour's fresh, sparkling,
So, would you?
As soon as you start talking about going from the sewage system directly to the water system, the so-called toilet to tap connection, people sign on off.
Okay.
Did they? And
what were the consequences of that? Would they?
And that's going to be, what would you do? Max asks you the question, what would you do? Would you drink your neighbour's raw sewage?
And so what do you think? Do you have a yuck factor?
Yuck factor or not?
Do you even have a yuck factor?
Few Australians know that in London, water goes through 7 sets of kidneys before it gets to you.
Yes, well, the only kidneys that I'm going to be drinking out of in London are my own.
I think you'd enjoy that.
Despite the yuck factor, she came along. She knows what side her bread's buttered on. She.
Oh, yes, that. Yeah, and yeah. Hey,
See, if you just relax and eat a bit of food.
I like to,
and then,
at the end of the day, I like to round it off with a fresh, sprinkling, filling piss enema.
6 litres for the price of 5 at selected retailers now.
Shit, am I beginning to
I love to sing, then I love till I die, as long as
quiet. The circumstances are fine, and I'm playing bad. And I'm convinced that someone who doesn't like my music is near me.
your body, mind and soul. Every morning, invade your body, mind and soul.
That's right, go ahead, squeeze it out onto my hand.
Well, I was outside of my house, this house, just the other day, and had your music, and had Max Profits on the inside quite bad. That
Sounded like a deaf old lady was inside listening to...
Yes, and it's some of those old ladies that have actually said to me, in passing, that my voice, my deep, bassy voice, is like a warm jet of cum in their ears, in the winter of their life.
Yeah, wow. That's fucked up, man. That is really... Fuck.
AM Bandito. You sound like through the walls of a fibro house when I'm standing outside this fibro house, my fibro house, you know what I mean? Why is my deep bassy voice? How you can go from...
There's nothing I enjoy more than sticking my nose in other people's business when I'm having it.
Rub all over my face.
Match the coding helps eliminate pain messages. Number one selling strong pain reliever without prescription. When it's strong pain,